Of course, artists must develop their imaginations. To do that, you need to be a good friend to yourself. You must explore new ideas and try new techniques without judging whether something you tried is good or bad. That can come later. But while you are working, try to keep an open mind and allow yourself to explore freely.
Okay, so Envision is our Studio Habit of Mind focus for today. Our goal says, I can use my imagination to brainstorm more than one idea and pick the most unique to explore. It is going to be a stations day, so let's get right to it and explain what's going to happen at each. Okay, so Station A says combine the cards drawing challenge. So the materials that you guys are going to need for this today are just a piece of paper, and it also says to choose 2 cards. So I'm going to choose 2 of the cards from the box. I have the words frog and house. Oh my, a frog house. So you're going to write those 2 words on your piece of paper. You may take a few moments and brainstorm how you actually want to combine these 2 things. If you want to use one side of your paper to kind of sketch out a plan, you can do that. And then when you're ready, you can flip your paper over and use any of the materials from your table. You'll notice that it says once you've combined the 2 pieces, the 2 items, you also want to think about where they are located. So you want to keep adding detail to the image until time is up. Frog house. Station B, how was it made? So what you're going to do, you're going to need a paper, and you're also going to need to choose an artwork from inside the box. Notice that there is a black label that is covering up the name and the materials used for this, because that would give it away. Next, you will notice that it says to look carefully at the image. Again, we are always observing as artists. There is a list of 7 questions that you guys need to answer. Once you've labeled 1 through 7, you can begin to answer your questions. There is a bonus, and it says if you guys finish up with your questions early, you can find a partner who's also finished, and you can ask them the same questions about the artwork that you chose, and you can kind of compare the 2 answers and see how you guys think differently and how you can get ideas from each other. Okay, Station C is asking you guys to create your own step-by-step. Now this step-by-step can be either for a procedure that we use in class, in other words gluing or cutting, something like that, or it could even be a cleanup procedure that we do in class. Or you guys can choose to do a step-by-step on something like a drawing that you really love to do. For example, if I am teaching somebody how to use the glue properly in the art room, I would write down the title, and then I would start with step 1, which says to go to the construction station and get the Elmer's glue and the brush cup. Step 2 says to open the glue and wipe the water off one of the brushes. This would continue, so you want to do the action, okay, as you're writing so that you know exactly what you need to add next. If you want to check your work when you are done, you can actually give your instructions to a partner and see if they are able to complete the activity that you have just by reading your instructions. It'll help you figure out where you've missed a step. So Station D, the last station, says sketch an idea in response to a theme. So you guys are going to need the artist project planning sheet for this assignment. Looks just like this, and you are going to fill it out completely. There are some examples that you guys can look at of other artists who have worked with the same idea or theme. The theme is going to be dreams, so you can look through this box, try to imagine yourself in these artists' dreams. This one is one of my favorites, lots of floating fish. Once you have looked at enough of the ideas, you'll begin to brainstorm and start to come up with your own. You can sketch a plan, you can write some ideas down. It does ask you what this actually means to you, or maybe you've had this dream before, you want to write a little bit about that here. You have to think about the materials that you actually need to make this happen, and then talk about some of the elements of art that you guys would be using in your project. As a bonus for this, if you finish your entire plan, you can always get feedback from a partner. Remember, your plan may change a little bit if you get feedback that you really like. Okay, and to finish up today, of course, we are going to be answering our prompts again. I imagine that if, okay, talk about something that you were thinking about today, that you were brainstorming. First, I pictured, okay, maybe something you thought initially changed over time, so you can talk about what you thought about after. Okay, when you are all done answering these questions, as always, it's going to go inside your folder, inside the table folders, and put away.